Let me, we're rolling. Okay, we're recording.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling, but hang on a minute, okay? How about this question from our guest, okay? Okay, Kev. Well, it's video, I guess you can see. Okay. And Brad says, so we're shooting the shit about everything in Italy, and congratulations, Brad. And he goes, yeah, should I get the gold medal, guys? And we're like, F yeah. I said you could hold it up for half an hour, man, and that'd be the entire show. You're reigning Olympic champion, baby, representing our country. Brad Jacobs, way to go, Brad. Well done, man. It was, I was telling you off air there before he started, it was, I don't know how to explain it when I'm watching that, and I've known you from Brier days, and it was like chilling, man. It was chilling to watch you do it.
Was it?
It was, man. Yeah, it was. I get goosebumps talking to you guys. I've told you before when I interview you. How do you? I was just asking before we did. Mm-hmm. How the celebration, all that stuff, and I'm gathering you said, well, I had a couple of pops after, but I'm sensing that there was like this massive decompression, like when you win.
Yeah, so it was weird. So this is the first time we've gone from the Olympics to the Brier. And so that was different. Like you win the Olympic gold. It's like been the goal for the last, however long. I was with Mark and Ben and Brett and Paul for 2 seasons, right? But that was the main goal. Trials, get to the Olympics, try to win that gold again. And you think after you do it, you get to go home and, you get to see all your friends and family take the gold medal, parade it around, do a bunch of things and pictures. But we had to take I had 3 nights at home, call it 2 days at home, straight on the plane, straight to St. John's. Everyone was a little bit sick. Everyone was really tired. And we had to just flip the switch and try to turn it back on. It was pretty difficult. And not only that, the last time, as you guys probably remember, when we went to St. John's, was for that slam, and we were getting booed out of St. John's. They were booing us out of St. John's.
Yeah,
and this time, we show up about a year and a half or so later, and opening night, we got the biggest cheer, one of the biggest cheers we've probably ever had in our career from those same fans. And they were just proud to be Canadian and proud of the fact that we won and we're bringing back the hardware that everyone was after, Olympic gold. So we signed a ton of autographs. We took a ton of pictures. People were after us that week. Just like I felt like I was Brad Gushue in his hometown. Not quite, but
yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Would you want to go out the way Gushue did? I expect I know the answer to that, but that must have been the other factor in that Brier that was super cool. With Brad bowing out.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go out the way he went out this season. Not myself personally. That must have been a lot to handle. But he also earned the right to kind of go out that way with all that attention. Even when we played in the points bet in Calgary, we played them in that game in the round robin, and I couldn't believe how many people were there to watch and cheer him on, cheer the team on.
Right.
And it was kind of like that everywhere they went, every stop, and especially in St. John's. I mean, it was nutty. The games that we played against them in the round robin and the 3-4 game, boy, those are some of the loudest cheers I've ever heard in curling in my entire life. Yeah, they really were. And so, I think it was kind of fitting if they weren't going to win that we were the ones that maybe sent them out. We played great that game, our best game of the week. I know it was a bummer for everyone, and they wanted them to go further. But, what can I say? I think we're the better team right now, and the better team won that day. And, they did the whole thing. We tried to get out of there because we knew it was all about them.
Right.
We clapped for a little while. We did media, and we moved on.
Yeah. The reason we're the official podcast of World Curling is because, we're the best curling podcast. How about if you're tuning in right now? How about 2 gold medalists chatting with each other? Okay, how good is that? Okay, how good is that? Over to you, Martino, another gold medalist.
That's pretty cool. I didn't even think of that until you just said it. You played against Brad Gushue on his last game.
Mm. Yeah,
that was my last game I played, other than playing you in the Lupus Spiel, which is a little different. But that's right too. You played in my last game as well. I never thought about that till just now. I guess you would have thought of that.
And you were on fire that week. Oof, you went out from that players playing so good. It was very impressive. I want to say you were like 96, 97% for the week, and definitely in those last few playoff games. So yeah, it was really cool to play you, Kevin, in your last game ever. And we've played Brad Gushu in his last game ever. So that's neat. And I'm still around, still hanging on there a little bit. So.
You're still young. You've got lots of time yet.
Yeah, I got some time. I agree. As long as I can stay physically healthy, I've got some time. But I will say, so just thinking of when Jim mentioned that we're both gold medalists and stuff, I've seen the 2010 gold medal. I have my Sochi gold medal, and now I have this gold medal from Italy.
Yeah, let's see that. Let's see that baby.
Yeah.
Here's
the new one. Holding? Just pop the thing up, for God's sake.
Yeah, here's the new one. It's pretty cool. It's very sleek and simple and modern looking. It's got
move right in there. Move that right into the camera.
Through the middle.
Move it. Oh, wicked.
Here, that's better.
Wicked. Man.
It's nice. It's nice. It's thick too. Just like I've seen the 2010 one. Same sort of concept. Milano Cortina, men's curling, and some writing and stuff on the bottom. So it's really neat. Actually, the Sochi medal, if I hold it up, and I know I've seen the 2010 one, Kevin, at yours and Ben's and Mark's. The Sochi one is quite a lot bigger.
Oh, okay.
It's quite a lot bigger, and I feel like the one from 2010 is a lot more comparable to the size of the Sochi medal. And I will say this, after now having two and one this last one, I've got a lot more appreciation for this one and the overall look of it. When I came home, I was like, wow, this is a gorgeous medal that they made here in Sochi. And it's my favorite one of recent history. Vancouver, the design of the Vancouver one is way up there for me. It's probably right behind this one, number 2. If I'm being picky, and now, this one, number 3 for sure. But hey, they're all great. Can I say?
They're all great. Yeah, I think they're all great.
I was just showing my kid. My kid graduated from university. He had his 4-year grad. So I was taking him downstairs, and I was just showing him my grade 12 high school diploma.
Yeah.
The gold medal display is a little up from that. Okay. Okay. Your dad passed grade 12. My buddy Brad got it.
And in Jim, I would say, and with Jimmy, that's good.
That's like an Olympic. Yeah, Christ. It took me 7 years to get through high school, man. It was tough. Brad, so how do you? We're talking about so many different things.
Sure.
I guess we can bring it up now. How I almost jumped through my TV, man, when the whole Mark Kennedy thing started, right from the start. And I said, oh, you effers, you are trying to get inside their goddamn head. How does Mark throw his next rock when they're all looking at him with that whole scenario? How did you get
really
past
well, actually?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually.
He was so good throughout the entire Olympics. It just goes to show how mentally tough he is, especially now at this point in his life, and how sealed his mind is. And we were obviously supporting him, around him. It was a bunch of nonsense. It was such a bunch of nonsense, and it was really sad to see how far the media, social media, can take a word and attach it to someone or something. Canadian cheaters, and how it can just it can run wild. It's a crazy world we live in today. Obviously, we knew the truth, and anyone in Canada or anyone who knows curling around the world knows that it wasn't cheating. It's just a bunch of crap, right? But we had to deal with it, and we dealt with it better than the Swedish guys. That's for sure. If anything, it just motivated us and drove us more to go out and get the job done and play well. And okay, let's release it as clean as humanly possible from here on moving forward, and let's just get back to being ultra professional. Let's do our thing, and we did. And you know what? I'll tell you, when we showed up there in Italy, I've never been so confident that we were going to win a curling tournament in my life. It's hard for me to explain why, but even going in to that Olympics, I said a few times to different people in the media and our team and people that we know, I think we can do this. I think that we can win this thing. There's a lot of attention and a lot of, attention on the Mowat rink, and for good reason. They're number 1 team in the world. They've been so dominant on tour, and they're reigning world champions, won a whole bunch of slams. They're very consistent. They're very hard to beat. But the Olympics is a different animal. And I don't know what it is, but I love the Olympics, man. And when we showed up there, I said it after the first day I ran through the media. I said, I don't know what it is about this place or coming to the Olympics or this building, but I really do feel at peace and at home here, and couldn't wait for that week to start and get going, and felt very comfortable all week. The only time I think we were nervous, and Kevin knows this, that semifinal game against Norway. That's a nerve-wracking game. That's I'd say that is the hardest game in curling. If you make it to that game, to control your nerves and feelings and execute and perform. But we were able to do that and snuck through that game. And then from there, it just feels like gravy. Okay, so we're coming home with a medal. It's gold or silver. We got a great opportunity at gold here. And I don't know. Didn't.
Why is that the toughest game, Brad? Sorry to interrupt. Why is the semifinal the toughest game?
Oh, it's tough on you mentally, tough on your nerves, because you know that, you want to go there, you want a podium. Of course, you want gold, you want to get some hardware. And in that game, if you win, your podium, you're getting some hardware, you got an opportunity at the big one. And if you don't, well, you could come fourth and you could walk away with nothing. And so it's hard to kind of block that reality out and just know that you need to perform and execute. I mean, I think against Norway, we're the better team. I know that we took a little bit of comfort in the fact that if we play like we can, we should win this game. Although they played great that entire day. That all happened in one day, right? Round robin game, little rest, back at her, same thing. I had that happen to me twice, actually, going to the Olympics. China played China twice last time to end the round robin semifinal and made it through. So yeah, it's a tough game. But like I said, I felt confident all week that we were going to get it done. I felt confident that things were going to all come together for us, that the curling gods were going to be on our side, especially with everything that happened and went on. And we just kept fighting through it. I knew that late in that game, the scouting report said that that week, Great Britain wasn't closing out games like they normally would. So get it to the late stages of the game and, just kind of wait for our opportunity. It all happened in the ninth end. And, they made some mistakes. We made some key shots and boom, next thing you know, we win the game. It was crazy.
It was crazy. It was fun, crazy to watch. Yeah. I really enjoyed how you guys handled the craziness with that argument. I appreciate it because I've been part of messes like that before, sure. And it's just so difficult. And you guys did a heck of a job of trying. I guess I want to ask you something about social media. You brought it up first. Did you pay attention to it? Like, were you on it? Did you read it yourself, or did you get it from maybe the coach or a manager or something? Like, how did you do that?
I think they kind of recommend or tell you to put social media away. I mean, it's a really hard thing to do. I know Mark did for sure. But I was still looking at stuff and seeing stuff, and everything. It's like you get fed what you continue to look at. So you get fed that same nonsense a lot. But after a couple days, and then the memes started, and then we started to laugh a little bit, and then we're sending them back and forth. Friends and stuff are sending them to us. Like, I know you guys are going through some shit right now, and it's not good. But I came across this meme and it's pretty hilarious. So I hope you get a good laugh in this, right? And then when Mark started to see a few and laugh, we could kind of just start to feel better about ourselves. The one good thing about when all of that happened was we played China and Czechia the next two games, and it was the next 2 days. So it's not like we had to get right into what would have been a super tough game like Italy or Great Britain or, the list goes on. So we had two easier games that we were able to get through, and then we finished the round robin strong, and we just kind of blocked it out, man. And we supported one another, and we knew that it was just a bunch of BS, really.
I really thought once the meme started coming out, we actually talked about it on the show, and because at the start I was worried, obviously, for you guys, but then when you started winning, and then the memes, as soon as they started coming. Yeah. Then we started laughing about it on the show. We were pretty antsy about it.
The guy pushing the puck over the goal line. Did you see that one?
Yeah. The offside. there was the as soon as the offside happened,
right.
we were all like, wow. It's only a matter of time before we see Mark's finger in there, and sure enough, wham! It was no time at all. But the good thing I think that came out of all that is, sometimes even bad press can be good press, and a lot of attention turned towards curling. A lot of eyeballs came towards curling because of everything that happened, even though it was quite difficult for us to deal with in the beginning. You know, so many people around the world would turn to curling that would have never turned to curling before, and maybe learned something, or maybe just their eyeballs were on the game, and that's never a bad thing. So that's kind of the blessing in disguise, I guess.
I got two questions for you, and I don't want to take the whole thing hostage with this, but it was so interesting.
Okay.
When it did happen, Brad, and you get through the game, were you worried about Mark going forward?
Yes. I mean, we were all worried about Mark, especially that night. I was worried how much he was going to sleep, and how well rested he would be for the next day. I was worried what was going through his head. And so, yeah, I mean, that's why you have coaches and staff and teammates and spouses. I'm sure Nicole was, and the girls were just all over him in terms of helping him out. I know they were, and yeah, I mean, you're worried about your teammate, and yeah, but he handled it very, very well.
Yeah. The other question is, what we saw on ice from Mark is probably what you would have said off ice behind the scenes. So he just let it fly. Was there what happened after the game, Brad? You guys aren't going separate ways. You must run into each other with Sweden. Did anyone want to punch anyone in the neck or anything, or I would have wanted to?
No. So, I was a little confused, being the skip and down at the far end. Oftentimes, if there's a conflict happening at the far end, you don't know what it is. If the guys are arguing about something or unhappy about something, or there's maybe even an internal conflict going down at the far end, you're kind of in the dark at the other end. And so I was actually confused as to what the heck was going on at the moment that it started. And I saw Mark swearing and kind of, losing his cool on Oscar. So the one thing that did go through my mind right away was, this is the Olympics, and whatever's happening right now is going to be viral. I kind of had that feeling right away, but at the same time, I was pretty pumped up and excited to know what was going on and back up Mark. So I was trying to actually get in there and get my 2 cents in too, even though I didn't know what was going on, because he's my guy, and I'm ready to go as well. I didn't get an opportunity to, and then we had to go down to the far end, but everything was fine after the game. I mean, you think about it, it hurt the Swedish team more than it helped them in the end, and it helped us, and so, yeah. And I think that as much as we were getting, some pretty nasty private messages in all of our social media and our team account and everything, I'm sure Sweden was maybe getting it 10 times worse with what, they did. So whatever, it's all good. I remember we did run into, when we were leaving the village, we saw those guys a little bit here and there in passing and at the arena, but we're not really on good terms with them right now. I don't see myself being on good terms with them for a little while, quite frankly, and I don't care. I'm going to just stand strong in that. But we were leaving the village, and Benny was funny because Oscar walked by us, and we were standing there, and we had our gold medals on, and he said, "Hey, Oscar, great week." He said, "Great week," and I'm like, "Oh my God, oh boy, do I ever love it right now, especially with the gold medals around our necks." Oh man, why not? Why not?
Awesome, man, awesome. Yeah, go ahead, Ben. Yeah.
Well, okay. I think everybody listening in wants to know what's next, because you said it great. You got this team together. The purpose was to get the trials, get to the Olympics, and do great, which you did. But that's done now.
You bet.
What's next? How do you get up? What do you put your notice into? Your goals? What's next? How do you do it?
I know. So, Jim asked the question earlier about when did we get an opportunity to decompress, and then I'll get into the team and stuff and what's next. But man, after that Brier and after that month and all of that curling, all of the ups and downs, winning, coming home with the gold, having great perspective for like a solid week here. And I'm just starting to reintegrate myself into good routines in society and be happy with what we've done. But I needed a week to rest, be at home, just be at home. I've never been so homesick in my life as I was when we were in St. John's at the Brier. I've never felt that homesick before. Just couldn't wait to see my wife, couldn't wait to see the kids, friends, and family, stay at home and do nothing. And so we were able to do that. Probably had too many beers, but that's another conversation. But that was the reward for all of the stuff that we went through in order to get to the top of the podium again. And so now the plan is we're staying together as a team. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but Benny and Mark, we've convinced them, or maybe they've convinced themselves, or their wives helped convince them, but they're going to keep going. And this team is going to stay together. It sounds to me like more of a year-to-year basis, see how everyone's feeling. We're going to play a little bit of a lighter schedule next season, just the major events, the slams, move into the Rock League stuff for Brett and I, really focus on the Brier. So nice thing is the Brier is going to be our main focus, no doubt about it. The Brier is going to be our main focus. That's what this team is kind of built for, is the major events that we want to win. Slams are going to be a big an important piece of that as well. In that trials year just now, I was actually talking to Nick Sulsky earlier that the slams, to me, they were more of like a learning type of ground and a testing type of ground. It wasn't like we were necessarily trying to bring home slam titles. We were trying to do everything we could to be ready for the Olympic trials. So we can get back to trying to win slams and focus on those and focus on the Brier. That's the plan.
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Did you ever run into him? Did you ever meet him or run into him?
Man, I wanted to. Brett and Joss did. There's a great photo of Brett and Joss. We were jealous because they were playing in the mixed doubles. We were up in Brunico, about an hour and a half from Cortina, and they were playing mixed doubles, and Snoop Dogg came along, and we were dying to meet him. Man, I was dying to meet Snoop Dogg, and because I grew up on Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre
right.
Eminem and all those guys. So, but yeah, it wasn't in the cards for me this time. Hopefully one day.
What about, is it the Kelsey brothers, too, who started talking about curling on their podcast?
They did. Yeah, they did. I haven't seen a whole lot of that, but they were quite the curling fans, it seemed. We actually, Flavor Flav was at one of the games. The kids came up to me after the game, and they were like, "We met a celebrity." I'm like, "Who was this?" Flavor Flav. I don't know, but yeah, it was fun. Lots of people were taken in that Olympics. It was. I've been to the Olympics a couple times now. I know, Vancouver, Kevin, and that crowd must have been insane. I remember when they were singing "Oh Canada," when, for you guys, and it seemed like quite the environment. And that environment in Cortina in Italy was amazing. There was tons of Europeans, tons of U.S. fans, tons of Italian fans, not as many Canadian fans, but we had a really good following, good contingent of fans there too. And it was quite a special event. Yeah.
Mark, the last time, or Mark, sorry, Brad, the last time we interviewed you, I was knocked out when we were talking about, I record people's life stories now. I do these all, and so I got a tendency to ask a guy, tell me about your life and grandparents and all that stuff. And you said, well, let me explain to you about where curling started for me. And it was about, I'm probably not half exaggerating. It's like, well, when I was 2.5 years old, I sat in front of the TV and started watching videos of curling. That is the case for you, right? I mean, I think you said, I cannot remember when I wasn't involved in curling.
Well, actually, I think you're a little off. I don't know if you're thinking of someone else. I know you've talked to a lot of people about their families and stuff like that. So I was 10, but
okay, there you go. Okay, yeah.
But when you go back through my uncles and stuff, it's been in the family a long time, just like so many curlers across our country or in general, right? So, for me, the big one was always to try to win the Brier. And then when the Olympics came along, especially since I can remember, call it, 2002, 2006, 2010, those had a big impact on me. And there's just nothing like winning the Olympics. There's nothing like competing in the Olympics, winning the Olympics. I can't believe that I fall into the same category as Kevin and Brad, having skipped and won 2 Olympic trials. That to me seems just crazy, and to have 2 gold medals. I thought about it. I knew it was Annette Norberg, and then those girls had an opportunity. Anna and the girls to get 2 gold medals as well. And on the men's side, no one had done it. And I thought, boy, would that ever be cool. I said it 4 years ago, actually, before Beijing, the 2021 trials. I got 2 kids, would love to have 2 gold medals. That's just been something that's on my mind. And then, 4 years later, it actually happens and all comes together like this. It's just the ultimate dream come true. It's been pretty amazing to live the Olympic dream now twice over, and to get to the top of the podium is nothing will ever top that for me. But you know what? Might as well go for 3. I got nothing better to do.
Buddy. Nice. Yeah.
I don't know if you can get Benny and Mark through another 4 years. They'd be pretty broken down by then.
Benny's shoulder is going to fall off. Who knows about various parts of Mark's body? But you're right. I don't know. A year-to-year basis here, I'm going to try to get them to hold on as long as they can. And if they hang it up, I hope they hang it up. Well, not if. When they hang it up, I hope they hang it up together. And then, we'll be on the lookout for a couple new players. But for now, I'm just so happy with what we've done. And I'm so happy we're staying together because, not only did we do some really special once-in-a-lifetime things in a 12-month period, we really like hanging out with one another. We're very similar. We get along so well. And that team dynamic, to me, is just so special of what we have.
Brad, the win by Dunstone means a lot for the game of curling. Certainly for him. I mean, there's no one better to talk to about a guy than a guy like yourself who's done this. I took it as there's always new guard that's coming on, right? There's been a lot of you guys, but there's starting to be a new guard. That's a pretty big win, isn't it, for the game of curling, Brad?
100%. I mean, and we were trying to win. Don't get me wrong. We wanted to win another Brier. But hey, it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't in the cards for us. And, after they beat us, I said to the guys, they're going to win the Brier. I had a very strong feeling that they were going to win the Brier. And for many reasons, my cousin Ryan has been chomping at the bit to win another Brier. It's 13 years between Brier wins for him. Being stuck at one, I know that feeling, but nobody knows that feeling probably better than I do. And so I was really happy for him. EJ's retiring. He gets a 4th Brier title with his brother. Those two get to do it with Colton and Matt. They've been a very strong team, one of the best teams in the world and certainly in Canada over the last couple of seasons here, and lost some heartbreakers. So they were ready to win. This was meant to be. And I said it at the trials. I know that we beat them in the trials final. And I said, the night is darkest before dawn, and your biggest breakthrough is probably going to happen after your toughest loss, or when you feel almost like you want to quit. Like, why is this happening to us over and over again? Right. And so I knew it was around the corner, and sure enough, it happened. And I couldn't be more proud of my cousins. I'm super proud for Matt and Colton, and even Caleb, who's from the Sioux and is a buddy of mine as well. And you know what? Those guys have a really good opportunity for Canada to go double gold. I was talking to EJ today over text. We went gold at the Olympics in men's curling. Nothing stopping those guys from getting gold, at the Worlds for Canada. And that would be a very special season for Canadian men's curling. So we'll be cheering them on.
I think they have an excellent chance too, but to have the young, I think I agree with you on that, Brad. It's really important that the change does come naturally like that, and have a guy like Matt Dunstone, pretty good guy to have happen too. That team is pretty easy to watch. I just wonder, like Mark and Ben, is there any chance EJ doesn't retire?
Yeah, that's been on my mind.
He's awfully good. Like, he is awfully good.
Been on my mind. I was talking to him a little bit about that today, so I can't reveal our conversation. But as far as I know, this has been a plan of his for a little while now. I mean, I don't know. I don't see him kind of going the other way now and saying, I'm going to keep going. I think he's very at peace with his decision, but boy, like you said, after that, winning the Brier, Team Canada, Worlds, all the stuff, and still being in great shape and young enough to keep going. I mean, I could see it going the other way, and it would play on my mind. Like if I was them, I would be begging him to stay because he's so strong on the broom, right? So
financial, like
Sure.
after Vancouver, I had kind of had enough of the game also, except there's the real part, sponsors and funding and all that
100%.
stuff. And so I played 4 more years and hobbling around like Mark Kennedy does right now. And EJ, he doesn't seem injured. Like all the years he's been sweeping and stuff, he seems strong as an ox still. And
Sure.
now we get all the funding from winning and all the sponsorship from winning, and they're a really likable team. So that's got to kind of weigh on him a little, you'd think.
I think it does. It probably would. I know it would weigh on me too. So no, you nailed it. You nailed it. All that good stuff that comes with winning is to be taken into consideration, and certainly, you talk about that stuff before you hope that it happens. And so it's going to be a tough one, but those. I guess if he does end up packing it in, they're going to have to come up with a plan pretty soon here to find someone because I don't know. It's like every day a new team comes out, another announcement, right? And so we'll see.
Brad, all sports, when they reach the peak, even hockey, which we're all Canadian, the NHL. I remember that when the Oilers are sold out now, but they had a hard time for a while. And a guy came in named Pat LaForge saying, look it, seasons ticket holders are great. It's grassroots. That's good. But if you're going to improve this game and get people to come, you got to have corporate sponsorships. It's got to be a commercial take. Curling players are wildly underpaid in my mind. Do you think what's gone on over the last few months, over the last year, that this will bring some dough to the table where you guys can start to make some real money?
It has to. Yeah, it has to. Like there's just been curling has never been more athletic, never been more exciting, never had so much backing from investors and corporate sponsors that I can think of. And I would assume that more are probably on the way, especially with the excitement around the Olympics and all of the controversy that happened. I mean, that was the biggest story at the Olympics was what happened with our team with Mark in curling, right?
Right.
So it has to be there. It's got to be there, and hopefully the right people are in a good position to sort of strike while the iron's hot and run with this. Yeah, I actually texted Nick during the Olympics when everything went on, and it was like, well, about 1 billion people worldwide probably know who Mark Kennedy is now and know about curling. And I said, well, if you guys can't raise the money that you need to raise for Rock League and anything else now, you're just bad sales guys,
Good
right?
point. Yeah,
So,
right.
But I don't think they're bad sales guys. I think they're great. So yeah, this is the time. The time is now, and hopefully, that next generation coming up, we can, at the tail end of our careers here, we can pave a good path and a good way for the young people coming up that, maybe they can make a go at curling full time as a career. We'll see, but that's the dream.
Yep. I gather you're gonna tour around your hometown. There's the requests for interviews and appearances must be insane, but I know a lot of you guys are really good about going into schools, elementary kids and high schools. I suspect you're going to do that. And what are you saying, Brad, to the young curler, the kid who's 10, 11, 12, 13 years old? What are you telling them?
Good question. So I've already started thinking about all that stuff, and requests are beginning to come in. So it's a matter of scheduling it. Nice thing is the season's about to end here, and I do have family obligations and things with sports and our own kids, but I'm going to make time. I can't wait to go to the schools. I can't wait to go to the schools, elementary schools, high school. For me, when I get an opportunity to go to a school, it's always nice to have sort of a heartwarming, heartfelt video. So I got to track one down especially with curling, that'll kind of get the emotions stirred up from curling and about curling and from the Olympics. But then it's just kind of all about telling my story and how I got started and how I fell in love with something. I developed a passion, and kind of turned that into a healthy obsession. all of the time that it took to become world class and an expert at something. I'll talk about the importance of following your dreams, and not only that, but you have a dream, and then you kind of put some goals together, and you put some dates and some things on that stuff. You put a plan in place as how you want to do it, and then you have to show up every day and execute, baby. So that's what it's about. I'll try to share things like that, maybe some cool stories along the way, and inspire kids to just be themselves, and go after the things that they want to go after in life, and do it with courage, and surround yourself with great people. One of my favorite sayings is, you're the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most. And so make sure that those 5 people, if you hang out with 5 people who are negative and complaining and broke and just unhappy, you're going to be the 6th. And if you hang out with 5 people that are talking about their future and their dreams and their goals and how they can work together and, looking at the bright side of things, well, you're going to be the 6th. So, stuff like that.
Awesome.
Well, let's talk about Mark and Ben. Of course, as you know, we're in touch lots all the time.
Yep.
Have been for years and years and years. So talking to Mark tomorrow, just to add to this of what these guys are like, Mark's, I want to talk to him. Got no time. No time for me. He's got an 80 team bonspiel starting tomorrow.
I know.
80 teams in St. Albert, the Mark Kennedy Jr. Spiel. So that's what Mark's doing. So he is absolutely
correct.
Just busy.
Yeah.
80 teams, not 80 kids. 80 teams, 320 kids at one event. Anyway, so that's what he's doing. So I get a hold of Ben. Well, see what he's up to. He can't talk ever because he's coaching ball every night this week.
Wow.
Every night he's coaching ball. So these 2 guys, they've been out on the road to the Olympics and then to the Brier and then to all these things. They come home. Mark's running, him and Nicole are running this great big spiel, and then Benny's out coaching ball every night.
Yeah, that's them. And we, Benny's the GM. We call him the GM, the general manager of the U13 or U15, whatever, girls baseball team.
Whatever Sloaney is now. Yeah,
exactly. And that keeps him super busy. Like, he's constantly, when we're on the road, having conversations about the girls baseball. So he's in love with that and the coaching. And Mark, I mean, that spiel, I hadn't talked to Mark very much at all since we got home from the Brier, because I knew the spiel was coming up and I knew he was doing some other things. And he finally called me today and we had a really good chat. And I said, Mark, I was leaving you alone. I knew you had lots on your plate. I was waiting for you to reach out to me because I knew that the time would come, and he had a few things that he wanted to share with me. And we're on the prowl for, new sponsors and all that stuff too. So we're chatting about that every once in a while. But yeah, he's got the biggest junior bonspiel in the world. I mean, nobody's given back to youth curling, kids curling, I think, than Mark and Nicole Kennedy, right? They've done a tremendous job. So,
well, unless it's Brett and Jocelyn, because they're involved with the college program.
True. There you go.
Right? They're running
the
University of Calgary, the Dinos, right?
The Dinos, you bet. Yeah.
So isn't that
lots
something?
going on.
It's great.
Brad Jacobs is our guest. Has been our guest. Man, you're so good to interview, man. You're so good to interview.
I'm having fun. You guys are good interviewers.
Well, your candor and the way you wrapped up the Kennedy thing and your opinions on stuff matter. This just in, okay? This just in. Your stuff matters. Brad, we can't thank you enough, man. We can't thank you enough. You're gonna be the team to watch, because Hebert and Kennedy both said, "Mark my words, I won't be competing in the next Olympics." I said, okay, all right, okay. We'll mark those words for sure. We'll mark those words. So you're going to be the great team to watch, Brad. Congratulations, man, on achieving what you have. Really well done. Thanks for coming on.
Yep. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for having me. Love it.
Hey, thanks, Brad.